Hi everybody, welcome back to the BizTech Academy. This is another compilation video from our Excel function series. In this series we look at common and sometimes not so common functions that are available in Excel. Today we're going to look at 5 functions. Those are concatenate, index, round, today and now. We're going to show you how to use these and some practical applications of these functions. As always, if you do like this video, it'd be great if you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and press the alert for new videos. But in the meantime, let's crack on. Okay, so let's look at concatenate. As the statement on the screen says, the concatenate function joins 2 or more strings into one. So for example, if you've got two texts or text strings in cells A1 and B1 and you want to join them together, you can use concatenate to do that. What a lot of people do, so for example, if I just type in a name here in 2 cells, John Smith, a lot of people who don't know about concatenate and don't use the function, they do a very manual cut and paste. So for example, what you could do is you could open the cell B2 here, you could highlight Smith, you could Control or Command C to copy it, and then you could click onto the cell A1, put a space after John, and then press Control or Command V to paste it, and there you go, you have John Smith. But if you've got 100 names or 1,000 names to do, that's just not going to work. It doesn't work at all. And also, to be honest with you, Excel is a clever application and is designed to make life easier. And I think, as I've mentioned before, if you feel that you're doing something manual in Excel, there will be a way to automate it, I assure you. So let's take some more names. I've created a list of names. I'm just going to paste these over here now. I'm not going to give any prizes for anybody who can guess the sport that these people relate to. It's just a little passion of mine, but there's 10 names there, and what we want to do is put these names together. So to start with, just to make it easy and understanding, so I'll just undo that. We'll add a row in here, and we'll just put a couple of headings. So first name, last name, and full name. Now, right, that bold just stands out. Now, as the statement here says, we would use a concatenate function, and to do that, you type in concatenate. Now, there is a drop-down menu, because it's quite lengthy, I would just choose it. It opens up the parenthesis automatically, and then you have to choose what you want to join. So in this case, you want Steve, and then you want a space. So to put that space in, you put a comma, and then put speech marks, press the space, and then a speech mark again, comma, and then the name and the parenthesis. And what that will do, if I press enter now, is it will put them together. So it's important to remember that this space here that I'm highlighting here, that creates the space between the words or the names in this instance. If, for example, I didn't have a space and I put, I don't know, a dash and pressed enter, you could see it fills the space with a dash. Of course, I don't want to do that. We'll do it one more time manually with Jimmy White. So here you'd put equal, concatenate, we'll find it from the drop-down menu. The parenthesis is already open. I want to choose Jimmy, and I'm going to go comma. Speech marks with a space in the middle for the space between the names, comma, and then White, and then close the parenthesis, and there you go. Now, of course, as with any function or any formula, you can simply copy that down to a range of cells. So here, we'll just highlight the function that we want. We'll hover over the bottom corner of the cell. So in this case, C3, and you can see that the cursor has turned into a black cross. The autofill function will now work. Double click, and there you go. Just make the column wider, and all the names have been done easily. Okay, that's it. Simple concatenate. It's certainly easier than cut and paste manually, I can assure you. We'll now move on to the next function, the index function. Okay then, the index function. So as the statement on the screen says, the index function returns the value of a cell in a specified row and column of a table array. For example, if you have a table of employee information with names in column A and salaries in column B, and you wanted to find the salary for the third person, you would type in the command that is there, index, open parenthesis, the range B1 colon B10, and then comma 3 for the third person in the list, in the table. It sounds a little bit complicated, but it's not really. A table array is basically any any piece of data that is more than one column or more than one row. So if we look at this as a live example, I created a little table earlier on, and as you can see here, I've taken names, just make the column the right size. I've taken names here in column A, and salaries in column B here. And if we want to then go down to, let's say, cell D3, and we just type in equal index, or find the function in the list index, the parenthesis is already opened, as you can see. We then highlight the range where we want to find the number, in this instance column B, it's B1 to B10, and then we will put comma and 3. I put a space there, but you don't have to put a space before the 3. Close the parenthesis, press return, and as you can see, the number is 4,000. 1, 2, 3 is 4,000, and it finds the Jack Jones salary is 4,000. That's the basic application of index, or the index function. The only time it gets complicated, though, especially when you're looking at tables, is that tables tend to have headings. So if, for example, we do here, we'll delete that index for a second, that function. Let's say we insert a row here, and we have name, and we have salary. Okay, and let's say we do the same function. So we go down to D11, we put equal index, and we put a parenthesis, and we highlight the range with the salary, and we close the parenthesis. Sorry, we go back and comma 3, close the parenthesis, and press enter. You can see it's 3250, which is actually the second number down, but it is the third item or third row down from the range that we've highlighted. So you have to be a little bit careful. The way you get around this is you'd either change the range. So for example, we'll delete that, we go equal index, open the parentheses, and just highlight the salaries, not the heading, comma 3, and close the parenthesis and return. And you can see we've got the 4,000, that's correct. Another way of doing it, if you do include the heading, is what you can do is if we delete that, you could go equal index and open the parenthesis. You could highlight the full range, and then you could actually go comma 3 plus 1. And then what actually Excel will do then, it will account for that heading as the plus 1 cell. If we now press enter, we can see we've got our 4,000 again. Okay, that's the index function. So now what we'll do is we'll move on to the round function. I'll see you there. The round function, as it says on the screen, is a function that rounds a number to a specified number of digits. For example, if you want to round a number in cell A1, which we'll do in a moment, to 2 decimal places, you would use the command equal round. You'd open the parenthesis, you'd select the cell A1, and then you do comma 2 for 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's try that. Let's go to cell A1. Let's just type in a random number, 4679.2358. For argument's sake. If we want to round this to 2 decimal places, we would just type in the function, so equal round, open the parenthesis, click onto the cell or the number that we want to change, comma 2 for 2 decimal places, and then close the parenthesis. Press enter, and as you can see, 467924 is rounded now to 2 decimal places. If you wanted then to make that, say, 0 decimal places, so just a round number, round whole number, you change the 2 to a 0. Press enter again, and now you can see we've got the 4679, which is the correct rounding of that number. If you had a large column or a row of whole numbers or decimal numbers that you wanted to be rounded to, say, the nearest 10 or the nearest 100, you just use negative numbers. So for example here, change the 0 to -1, and we're rounded to 4680. If we now change the number to -2, we should get to probably 4700. Let's see. And there you go, 4700 is the rounding up there. And that's very useful if you're playing with lots and lots of numbers. And that's the round function explained. What we're going to do now is move on to look at the today function, and we'll do that in the next lesson. I'll see you there. The today function, as it says on the screen, is nothing more than a function that allows you to return today's date into your workbook. The application of the syntax is just equal today with an open and a closed parenthesis, and I'll show you how that works now. So if we look at cell A1 here, just type in equal today, and then 2 parentheses, open and close, press return, and depending on which part of the world you're in, today is the 11th of the 5th, 23. I think in some parts of the world it might be 5/11, but where I am, that's how it's formatted here. Now what you can do is you can change the format. So for example, if you click on the date and just right click, I tend to right click and then go to the to where it says format cells. What this will do is open up a formatting menu, and it goes automatically onto the date, as you can see here, and you can choose many different formats. For example, if we just choose this particular format here and press OK, it will change to the 11th of May 2023. You can also do some custom formats. So for example, if you go back to format cells and then go into custom, it'll give you some ideas of dates. What I tend to like to do sometimes, especially if you're dealing with something that is only this specific year or for this particular month, then you might want to put month and year only. In the custom menu, press OK, and it just comes back with May 23. And that's the application of the equal today function. It's very useful if you want to keep a track on the days of the day that you operate in the spreadsheet and work in the workbook. It will automatically update every day depending on the time zone you're in. So when you close the workbook and then come back the next day, it will also update and give you the right day. So you could also, for example, use it as a countdown. You could use it as part of a formula if you wanted to set another date of, I don't know, 2 weeks' time. You could then calculate the days left within the time period that you have. Let's just do that as an example. So if we undo the format, just stick with the 11th of May, and if we now go into, I don't know, let's say the 1st of June. So I just go 1/6, which is the 1st of June. What I'm going to do is just copy the format here. Make the cell bigger, and you can see the 1st of June. If we then say, okay, equal 1st of June minus 11th of May, and we have 21 days left. Now tomorrow, when we come in and open up the workbook, it'll say 12th of May, and that number then will say 20, and it'll count down the days. That's a useful application of the equal today function. And that's the today function. So now it's time to move on to our final one for this video, and that is the now function. I'll see you over there. Okay, so the now function. As it shows on the screen, the now function returns the current date and time. So for example, if you wanted it to insert today's date and time right now, you would type in equal now to open the function, and then open and close parenthesis. We'll show you how to do that now. So as you can see, if we go to cell A1 and simply type in equal now and open and close parentheses, it simply puts in today's date and time. Of course, the format may be different to where you are. So for example, here we have the 11th of the 5th. If we're in the US, it will be 5/11/23. And you can change the format if you click on the cell, right click, go to format cells. You can see there's different types of formats you can use here. We'll just change one here, for example. Now it looks like 3:06 p.m. If we go back to format cells again, we can then try something that has the dates and times again. For example, I think this will be it. And there you're going to come back to where we were. So there's a number of different formats. Now, what's the practical application of this? Well, first and foremost, you could use it to timestamp a document. So for example, if you had some analysis here and you wanted to create a PDF document, you could use that function, save the document as a PDF, and then use it as evidence of when you create the document, both in terms of the date, or the day, the month, and also the time in minutes and hours. Another application of using this is to calculate, for example, a countdown. So for example, if we look into cell D1 and type in 1st of June, 1st of June comes up. If we now just copy the format over, you can see that the 1st of June is actually set to midnight. So if you then want to calculate a countdown, if you like, from the 1st of June to today's date, so you would then take the 1st of June minus the now function, and that will give you a number of days that are left up until that day, so 20.369 days. Every time you press return then or do something, it will change. As you can see, it's changing every time I do this. These are just random numbers I'm putting into the cells, because what it's doing is every time a command occurs, it recalculates the time today, and then recalculates the time left to the 1st of June. So you could then use this as a countdown function for, again, telling you how long you've got to achieve a certain deadline. Okay, that's really it for the now function. It's a very simple function. I'll be honest with you, I don't use it very often. Some people do, but it's easy to apply, and if you feel the need to use it, obviously you can do. And that's it for this short series of videos. I hope you enjoyed the 5 functions. You've learnt all about concatenation, you've learnt about indexing, rounding numbers, and then the today and the now function. If you did like this video, it would be great if you can give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and press the alert button for new videos. But in the meantime, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.